this hour. A transnational corporation posted a 30.6% revenue growth at 82.1 billion naira in the first half of this year, following sustained growth across its business segments. The president and group CEO of Transnational Corporation joins me now to discuss the group's business strategy and prospects ahead. Owen, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
Let's start with the numbers. Well, not bad. Revenue up 30.6% at just over 82 billion. Half-year profits, 16.1 billion. Talk to us about, first of all, were these numbers in line with your expectations?
I'll say partly.
Okay.
The numbers are partly in line with our expectations. And I say partly because Transco is a conglomerate. We have investments in energy, power, and hospitality. Our hospitality numbers showing a very strong recovery, sustained recovery from COVID, met and surpassed the expectations. In our power sector, we could have done more, but some infrastructure challenges relating to gas, as well as some evacuation issues, limited the performance. However, when you look at the entire Nigerian macroeconomy, it's actually been a very strong performance.
When you talk about gas, because I think a few days ago I had a conversation with an analyst and he also mentioned the issue of gas. Help us understand, the scale of this gas issue.
Okay. So the gas issue is quite severe, let me put it that way. And I say severe in terms of, right now I am generating about 60% of my available capacity because of some gas constraints. And the gas constraint is tied to the supply of gas as well as the infrastructure to get the gas to you. So we hear about leaks on major lines like the Trans-Niger pipeline, the Transforcados lines. These are lines that really bring gas to us. And of course, with the divestment that is happening in the oil and gas sector, there are just some teething issues that are coming in. The changes that you're seeing, the NNPC and other gas managers is affecting it. That said, there is a concerted effort, though, to fix the gas issues. One of the ministers that were just appointed by the president is the Minister of Gas. And indeed, it shows to me, the signaling to me is that there's going to be a very strong focus on resolving the gas issues, because gas is an input for not just power. Even our fertilizer require gas, and other smaller industries, they rely on gas as an input to the output that's in there.
Well, that's quite interesting, but could you give us guidance for, the second half of the year? The numbers do look good. The power revenue at 63.1 billion, but give us some guidance on...
So looking ahead and seeing, especially what we've seen in recent times on our gas supply, we do expect that we will surpass the numbers that we recorded in H1, and that's because we've continued to drive the strategy in our power sector as it relates to improving our available capacity. So in total, Transco Group has an installed capacity of nearly 2,000 megawatts of power. And with the right enabling environment, we're looking to see how we can generate about 1,000 of that this year. By the end of December, we should be touching an average capacity of 1,000 megawatts of generation capacity, which is really, really important. Earlier in the year, there was a commissioning of AFAM 3 fast power in May, May of this year, and we're going to be tying to grid. So before the year is out, we'll see that 240 megawatts would have been added to the grid, which is something that's going to be very, very important to the nation. Now, in our hospitality business, indeed, things have continued to go. There's a lot of activity going on in Abuja. So you see the hotel, we've just had the conference, and we have a lot of occupancy going up. And with the increase, what we're seeing with the dollar and the hike in airfares, people are preferring more of domestic leisure. And Transcorp Hilton Abuja is a fantastic resort-like hotel. So that we drive a business and leisure strategy where you see now that all week long. So it's no longer about Monday to Friday, you have high occupancy because there's business. People are picking the Abuja hotel as a preferred destination for driving their leisure. And of course, I must talk about Aura by Transcorp Hotel, which is our technology-driven hospitality platform. Okay. And Aura has also gained momentum as it has unlocked the value to show people that, look, you actually have a lot of tourist spots within Nigeria, from the restaurants, the lakes, sightseeing, and exposing people to more hotel facilities than typically they would have seen.
Well, while we're on the issue of tourism, we now have a minister of a tourism minister. What policies do you believe are the most urgent in terms of what the minister should come and begin to implement?
So in terms of, first of all, congratulations to Honorable Minister. So for us at Transcorp for a while, we've actually been saying that it's necessary that tourism has its own ministry, because we have a lot of untapped tourist opportunities here. And if you look at countries that have developed quite a lot from tourism, Dubai, for example, Dubai has more or less built its economy off the back of tourism. So now bringing in and even using that as an example, I would say for the Minister of Tourism, congratulations, but there's work to be done. We need to address things like access to Nigeria, right? Access to Nigeria from our visa policies, how are we relaxing or how are we making it easier for people to be able to get visas. I know we have some visa on arrival now, but can we do more? We need to look at transportation, right? Look at transportation. You travel and you have all these big bus tours. Can we do a big bus tour? Will traffic stop you? So are there going to be other sectors that need to also up their game so that tourism can actually be unlocked? Because if you look at the whole of Nigeria, from Kano to Edo State to Rivers to Badagry, we have, because Nigeria has a rich history that we really, really can package in a kind of tourist pack, and then we can actually monetize. We talk about the China walls. What about the Benin walls, the moats? The historical walls, we have them in here. Our Badagry Slave Center. These are things that indeed, if we're able to properly harness, create the right infrastructure, roads, trains, airlines, so that people can go from one place to another. I land in Lagos, I can go to Ondo State, go to the Ikogosi Warm Spring. We will just be a tourist haven. And of course, we must say that security also has to be improved.
I was going to bring that up, but I didn't want to
Oh, definitely. No. Security has to be improved, right? Has to be improved, or more communication around it so that there's some greater reassurance to people about saying, you can come in, we are open for business. And any person that comes to Nigeria, if you look at their stories, they always go, Nigerians are warm, Nigerians are open, we recommend Nigeria.
Right. I know we talked about power, but excuse me, I was curious about the Trans-Colored Consortium acquiring a 60% stake in the Abuja Disco. I mean, what does this mean for your strategy, and how does it tie into your overall growth strategy? Our
overall strategy is to unlock the power opportunities in Nigeria, and by so doing, catalyze the economic transformation of the country. 10 years ago, we did our first investment in power, and that was Transcorp Power Limited, Ugeli, 972 megawatts. And it's on record. This year, we got the post-privatization discharge from the National Council on Privatization, the very first privatized power company to get that. We went on, added more investment, acquired AFAM in 2020. But we realized that you need to get power to the last mile, to the end user. And that's where the understanding of we had to be a part of the distribution conversation came in. So it's an integrated strategy that we are running in Transcorp, from looking at having an investment in gas, and that's, of course, our OPL 281, all the way to getting power to the end user. And Abuja Disco is one that is very, very strategically placed. Abuja is on the cusp of becoming big. I know there's bigger than where it is today. We see it as the capital, political capital of the nation. But Abuja has landmass and could see a thriving industrial area build up, which you already see. There's an Idu industrial layout, similar to what we call our Ilupeju here and go. That is growing. But where Abuja differs from, I'll say, Lagos, it still has quite a lot of undeveloped landmass in key centers, and they also have accessible roads. But back to the discussion. So for us, in our investing in that distribution is able to further that purpose of improving lives and transforming Nigeria through releasing the power sector, bringing like minds together to say, how do we impact the power sector and make it better than it is today?
Owen, I must thank you for your time today. That's all we can take. But thank you so much for coming to speak to us today. We appreciate it. Owen Omogiafo, President and Group CEO of Transnational Corporation. We'll take a quick break and I'll be right back with the rest of the show. Do join us again.